Hello, welcome back to my floor series. I'm on the floor again, and today I wanted to share with you my experiences working in Korea and in Japan as an English teacher. I've been working here for in Korea and in Japan for about 9 years or so. I stopped teaching last year, and I will be starting a new job in March. So I'm really excited for that, but it's not a teaching job, so it's still education related, but I will keep you updated on that later in the future. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to let people know that there are so many different routes to take when deciding to come to teach in Korea or in Japan. You really have to do your own research. You can take the information that I give, the experiences that I had, and you can do further research and make your own conclusions, because I will tell you that people have gotten scammed and it's not fun. So please do your own research. I'm just sharing my own experiences to just let you know that there are different pathways to come here, but it's your job to be vigilant and do your research and not get scammed in the end. In 2014, I moved to South Korea for the first time to teach through the Teach and Learn in Korea program, which is not available anymore, unfortunately, but it was a program that hired university students to work in rural elementary schools as after-school English teachers for about 15 hours a week. It was not full-time, and I really enjoyed that. It was my first experience working in a classroom teaching kids. Before that, the only experience I had was tutoring, and I was very lucky to get this opportunity, and I was placed in Jeollanam-do. Fast track to 2016, moved to Japan through the JET program, and the JET program hires CIRs, AETs, and SEAs. I don't really know, but I was hired as an AET or an ALT, which is an assistant English teacher or an assistant language teacher. We have different acronyms for a lot of things. In this program, for me, for ALTs and AETs, you get placed in different cities across Japan as English teachers, and I got placed at a high school in Kyoto, and I spent 3 years of my life there, and it was one of the hardest times of my life, but it was also one of the best times of my life. I learned what teaching really was. I worked with more than 10 English teachers during my time there, and they had such a passion for teaching. They loved their students. They worked there were days that I left my keys at work so many times, and I would remember at 10 or 11 when I was out, and I rush to school, and there were always teachers there working so hard. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but these teachers really wanted the best for their students, and the students themselves were amazing. It didn't matter if they could not speak English, it didn't matter if they hated English. They were some of the sweetest students I ever met in my career. And even after I left, I kept in contact with the teachers. I really, really cherished my time there. I left Japan a little before COVID, and I went to a middle school in Jeollanam-do. I applied specifically for this program because it allowed me to work in Jeollanam-do. I really enjoyed my time there when I first started teaching, so I wanted to go back. I know that there were other teachers who got hired through a different program that also were placed in Jeollanam-do, but it wasn't their first choice. So you can research that on your own. But for me, I was placed in Jeollanam-do, and I spent 2 years there, and I had a travel school. I think once or twice every week. You might have a travel school if you work in Korea, or in Japan. I know some people had travel schools in Japan too. That means you just go to a different school once a week, and once or twice a week, and then you come back to your regular school. And it was tough. My time there was tough. It was a little bit of a culture shock being in Japan for 3 years. Anyway, 2 years flew by and I moved up to Gyeonggi-do, and I decided to work at this education institution that was governed by the Ministry of Education. And that was a totally new experience for me because I didn't work as a teacher. I worked as a supervisor, like a supervisory role. And it was really strange because I was young and I had to supervise people who were like twice my age. But it was a good chance for me to like really learn about the education system. Learned all the administrative tasks that I never thought of when I was teaching, but it was important for me to know. Anyway, like, that experience was not teaching, but it was education related, and I still really learned a lot. And then I moved to my era of working at different elementary schools in Seoul. In Seoul, I applied directly to a lot of elementary schools. There are lots of private elementary schools in Seoul that you can apply to directly, and there are also public schools that you can apply to directly. These are different from hagwons. I have never worked at a hagwon, and I cannot give any details about working at a hagwon, but I did work at one private elementary school in one public elementary school and an English education center. So there are different routes that you can take. Like, there are also, as I said, English education centers dispersed around Seoul that you can also work at. Do your research. There always are job listings on sites that you can look up, but please make sure that they aren't scams. What else? Oh, I did a couple of camps. Like, as an English teacher, you will be forced or encouraged to do camps, English camps, during the winter and summer vacations. But there are also university camps that you can apply to if you have the appropriate visa and paperwork, and if your school allows it. I don't know, you have to check with your school. I don't know what else I can say, but like, yeah, that was my teaching career. Do I regret any of them? Yes and no. Like, I quit teaching because kids have changed a lot since I first started to work in 2014, and the system has changed a lot, and I feel like I've lost my passion for teaching, but I still want to help people if they want to come to Korea or Japan to teach. It's a fun experience. I gave a lot of my life, my time to this, and I feel like I'm done with that era. But if anyone wants to ask questions, please feel free, and I'll make another video. This was like really haphazardly made, but maybe next time I'll like plan stuff out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.